Patty from Patty's Craft. This is part 2 of my little farmhouse mini using the new slimline dies. So let me real quick just walk you through the dies that we used. So to create all of my base pages and stuff, I used the new slimline die, and this is number 181. It gives you this fun little scalloped edging. And then for the white part here, as you can see, it kind of does the scallops the opposite way. So use that one. And then on my pattern papers, I went ahead and used this one that has the stitch lines in it. I used that. Also, one of the new release dies. This is the mix and match, and this one here is number 12 that also has the stitch lines. We use that to create the belly band. And then our pockets on the album, we used On the Edge die number 47, as well as for journals and planners, I use the large and the medium pocket dies, and the medium is 652 and the large is 651. And for mini albums binding system, I used C and D. So I used D to create the spine part for the book itself. And then for one of the pages inside, where I went ahead and used C. That way we had a little wider gusset to go ahead and add our a pull-out photo mat things that I created. And then my tags I used from Big Labels and Tags number 16. So let's take a walk through the album. So now it is all together, because in part 1 we went ahead and created the pages. And now right here we have the book all completed. And it's fun. So let me walk you through the front. Over here we open up. Inside cover is a little corner pocket. And then these are the tags that we made for those. And then right here, using a set of stacked pockets, I went ahead and cut those out individually. That is also in part 1. Because the medium pocket die was a little too wide and the small was a little too small. So that one we went ahead and created our own stacked pockets. And then we open up over here. We open up to a set of photo mats. If you want, you can always put something in the bottom here to go ahead and add more photos loosely. If you want, you can always have a little bit of some 2 flaps to come down over the top. So you could create one of these and just attach them to the tops and the bottoms also to go ahead and keep some photos in. And then we went ahead, in this video, we added a corner pocket right there. And then to our belly band, we just added a photo mat right there. And then our corner pocket here, which holds our tags, will also help keep any photo mats and stuff that we have under the belly band in place. And then we went ahead and we created these little pull-out photo mat holders. This has waterfalls, and there's eight pages here to hold 16 photos. And you can always add something down here if you wanted, and then room for some tags and stuff right there. And we did go ahead and create a matching one for the other side. And then we just repeat ourselves over here again, our little belly band with our photo, or our tag, and then our photo mats, our stacked pockets again, right here. And then on the back cover, we went ahead and created a corner pocket again, holding our tags. All right, so I hope you're going to enjoy the tutorial. This one was a lot of fun. I was excited to make this one. I did use the Graphic 45 Farmhouse paper collection for this. And I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. All right, so we're going to get started, and we're going to go ahead and put our album together. So what I did was I cut out 5 of my Mini Albums die binding system D for my hinges, and I went ahead as normal and I marked in a 1/2 inch. So not sure how well you can see that, but I have a 1/2 inch right here marked. So what I did was I did that on all 4 sides, because when you put it together you're not really quite sure where they connect to as far as like inside pieces or not. So I went ahead and did all that. So now what we're going to do is put it together. And for this to put it together, I'm going to go ahead and use glue. So what I want to do is glue all right on the side here, and then we're going to just go ahead and attach them. So they'll be nice and even, just like that. So let's get those started first. And I've been using glue because I find that I get a little more playtime with it than if I just use tape. And I can line it up too. And once I know I have it where it needs to go, I can press it down. So that part looks good. And then we're just going to go on to the next one. Same thing again. Oops. And I'm using my fingers to make sure that I can feel that I'm lined up where I need to be. And that looks good too. So I'm going to go ahead off camera and attach all these because you don't need to see me gluing, and I will show you when I'm done. So I have them all glued down now, like this. So now the next step is I need to go ahead and apply score tape to the sides. So let me show you real quick, and then I'll do that again off camera. If you prefer to glue, you can glue. I like to use the tape because just in case something happens, I can get the tape off where once you glue it, it's stuck. So I do like to use tape for this portion. So just like that. So on all the hinges now, I'm going to go across the whole thing and add the tape on. So I'll do that. So I have all my tape on now. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and attach my pages to my binding system. However, this is shorter than my pages. So what I want to do is I want to center it to my space. So luckily on this particular one, we have the little indentations from the little scallops. So I just counted, and if I place it on and I count 4, let me zoom in. Let's see. Let's zoom it in. Wow, it's blurry. Anyway, if you count the indentations, so right here where it indents here, that little inside, so I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4th one goes right where this paper lines up, and then if I move it up to the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is also that same spot. So what I'm going to do is line it up to my dots that I have already drawn, so the little pencil marks on my binding system, and then I'm going to go ahead and line that up. So instead of having to count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just going to put a little dot so I know that where the first one has to go is right here, and then the top one will just line up because of the spacing. So let me just zoom back out. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first one. So So my pencil dots are there. So I had the first one on. This is my first page. So now let's go over to my second page. So this will be the inside of this one. I'm not going to touch that. So my next page will be the set of little stacked pockets. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can just erase that afterwards. So do the next one. So I'm doing a test run. So I can visually see where things need to line up. And then once I'm happy with it, I can stick it down. And that looks good there. And I should fold over so everything's still lining up nice. So that was that page. And this will be the back side of this one. So then my next page will be this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And looks good to me. And everything is still lining up nice and even. So that's that page. This will be the back of that one. We're at the center, which means then this will be the next page. So that's the center, and that's the back of the center. So I don't need that one. And we don't need that one. One, two, three, four. It might seem tedious testing each piece. However, I do find that I do it all the time, even if I'm pretty certain. Just because I'd rather check than have it mess up. All right, so that's that page. And then this is the back. What's the back? No, the back is, we're not doing the back. Hold on. So the next page, so that should be this one. Okay. Let me do the back page. I'm messing myself up here. So the last page would be this one. That's this page. That would be this page. And this one here. And this one. So that would be that page. So this one. Okay. This is the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. line it up. That looks good. And then the back page looks so this. It's still line it even. Let's make sure everything still looks even. So then this is this page here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it all lines up good. All right, so now let's see. So we can go ahead and do the cover one. So the inside cover is going to be my angled pocket, which is going to be this one here. So this one is going to sit right on top, just like that. So for this one here, I can go ahead, I'm going to glue this one. I have the tape on the binding to seal this side down, but I'm going to go ahead and just use glue to attach the rest of this. And a lot of that is because I don't have a lot of tape left, so. And now that we know that our other pages are good, we don't have to worry too much about lining things up, because it's just, this one here, it's just a matter of lining up all the scallops. So, lining up my edges. And then once you're good, you go ahead and stick it down. Remember, when you're rubbing, be careful not to stick your fingers under and rip off your pockets and stuff. So that one's good there. So now the inside of this one is, that's the back cover. So this one here, with our little fold out photo mats, that one's going to go right on this page. So make sure it looks good, and then glue and tape it down. Or glue and stick it down, not tape when I use tape. I turn it this way. Okay. That looks good there. All right, and then this, so what I need to do is cut a piece of pattern paper for here, because remember, this is going to be a pocket, and we're going to be able to slide stuff into it. So I want to go ahead and add some pattern paper to that one there. So we'll do those last, because I have to do it on that too. So let's just finish these last 2 pages here. So this one is going to be this, and then the back cover. Oh, no, stack pockets. Yeah, stack pockets are here. So, yep. So let's go ahead and do this one. side. I'm going to get a little more glue. This one off. And lining it up. I am using my fingers to feel around that I am having it all even. And that's good. And then just my back cover, and then I'll cut out paper for those. So my back cover, and line it right up like that. And stick this one down. And it's good. All right. So that's where we are on our album. So let me just cut out the pattern paper for those, and then I can show you. So I went ahead and cut out my pattern paper, and I followed the same steps as I did on all the other pages. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and lay this on top of here like this. I'm going to attach this down, and then my first pocket, it'll end up going on top just like this. Alrighty, so let's just see here for a second. I'm thinking, so I went ahead and I grabbed my Mini Album Binding System C, and this one here has a smaller gusset. So my pockets, I don't want them to be, they're going to be pretty thick already, like tight, that is. So I want to be able to get stuff, slide things in and out of it, and if they're too tight, you're going to be fighting to get things in and out. So what I did was I cut out 2 of my binding systems, so this is the full length right here, and what I did was I lined it up across, made a pencil mark, and then cut off what I didn't need. So I want to go ahead and attach this down right here, and then we'll do our pattern paper. So to do that, let's go ahead and add some tape. I'm going to use a little wider tape. So I'm going to put the tape on close to the score line, but not totally touching it. And we do that to both sides. And then the other one. You're going to need to cut 4 altogether, because if you're using 2 pages with pockets, you're going to need 2 for each pocket. So, and we'll have to cut more. Okay. And then what I want to do is trim them. So now these are going to go on right up here like this, but I don't need all this excess. So let me trim that back a little bit. So from the score line here, you're going to the top portion. So you can see right here, and I'm going to cut it at an angle. I'm going to do that to all 4 sides. So So as you can see, I did not cut into the gusset. I went from the score line up. And then it should fit. Yeah, it fits so it doesn't touch the binding. So to do this now, I'm going to lay this on. And I'm going to put this right just below where the little scalloped edges are, where it goes to the paper, this part here. So where the scallop, I'm going to bring this part here just under the scallops. And I'm going to attach it down. So now when you fold it, you can see where, you can kind of see it there. Trying to get a good angle. Oops. So you can see it squared off. So it's like a letter U. So we'll do the same thing to the bottom. Here. And go ahead and trim this one up good. And then the same thing again. So we have that. So now what I want to do is now I can go ahead and add my pattern paper. So I'll flip these open. And I'm going to go ahead and put my pattern paper on, just like that. So I'm going to add glue. I'm going to remove this tape because part of this is going to stick down, but then I'm going to go ahead and add another piece of tape over the top of it, so that way I can put my top page on. So do that. Now for this piece here, I am just more concerned about the edge here because that's where my pocket's going to go. So when this piece goes on top, that's what you're going to see. So now I can go ahead and add another piece of tape right over top of my other one. So the back side's going to be down flat, and then these sides, the top and the bottom, will have its little gussets. So basically you're going to attach it like this. Just like that. So I would start by attaching one side at a time. So let's see. You do have to be careful because it will fold out. And I want to make sure everything lines up. So do a test run, see where you're going to line up on everything. And remember, you want to get the score line of this piece just under where those little scallops are. So let's give it a whirl. So I'm concentrating more on this corner and this corner here to see that they line up. And once I'm confident, I'm going to just try to lightly stick it. And then you can see if you line up, my seamstress, so I'm just going to turn it around. And now I'm going to line up the top part And if you got the bottom lined up, the top should fairly kind of line up itself. So I'm going to remove that one. So I still have the tape here. I don't want to stick that down just yet. Yeah, I don't want to stick that down yet either. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of pushing this in a little bit because it is sticking out. So I'm kind of just pushing it in a little. And I'm not adhering anything yet. Just stick it. Now if I think I have it where it goes, I'm going to stick that corner down there. Although my part here seems to be going in. So I'm going to that looks good. So I'm going to press that down. I think I'm pretty good. So I think I could have come back a little more. So let's see. Undo. This is what I'm going to use to remove some of my tape. So don't rip it. Because I'm not quite happy with it. So let's see. All right, that looks a little more even. So I'm just giving that a second for the undo to dry up. And then I can just press that one down. And let me get a bone folder in there so I can get the tapes good and stuck. My undo is not dry yet. Alrighty. And then all I got to do is just get in there and remove that tape. So let me get my craft knife or a pick tool. And just remove that, and then I can press this down. So now you can see right there, you have room now to go ahead and stick things in here, and they're not going to get all stuck. That looks good there. So I don't think it's going to show. Oops. Oh my goodness. Oh, this way. So you can kind of see. Right there is good. You can kind of see it's up to the edges of the scallops right in here, but not too far. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing to this page. However, this one is going to get, I'm going to put this on this side like this, and then it'll be like this here. So let me go ahead and cut my binding pieces for that side. So I went ahead and I cut my binding, or my pieces to expand my pocket out of my binding system. Now this one you're just going to assemble backwards from the way we did the other one. I was going to do it off camera, but I wanted to explain what I was doing. So the other one, how we attached these pieces to the book the page that was in the book. This one we're going to attach it to the page that's not in the book because I want this to be able to cover over those pieces so you can't see them instead of them going this way. I don't think you'll see them, but I would rather have these pieces here because they're on the back side of the pocket and you're never going to see those regardless. So I'm just going to do it opposite. So same thing, lining it all up. Yeah. And then this one. And then I can go ahead and add my pattern paper right over it, just like this. So let's get that stuck down. Now if you're having directional paper, make sure you're paying attention to the direction that you're gluing stuff down so you're not gluing your page upside down because you don't want to do that. So by putting the pattern paper, you have nice clean pieces for your pocket. And then this is the top, so we're going to make sure we do it to the top. So let's do the same thing again. This one might be easier. We'll see. So then when we go, this is what we're going to look like. So let's start by removing the tape. I wonder if I can do, actually, might be easier. So I can fold this one down flat, and no, I can't. Well, maybe. So if you do line it up where it should go, no, I can't, it's not going to work that way. So let's get all these other pages out of the way. So again, I'm going to focus on the two corners, making sure I'm lining them up to these two corners right here. And also that this is going right under here. So you have a lot going at once here. So that looks good. So stick that down. Now you don't have to worry about adding another piece of tape there because this is just going to attach to here. So again, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. So give it a dry run. And I think I'll be good. So let's go for it. Work on one area first. And stick that one down there. And if you think you're good, yeah, pretty close. I could come up a little more, but I don't think it's going to affect anything. So let's get that stuck down. So we have our opening, and you can see our little areas there. So let's go ahead and get the tape off. And seal up the bottom of that pocket. And think it looks good. So then you can see kind of right there. So these are our 2 inside pockets that will be just like that. So now our book opens first page. And there we go. So now I just have to create some tags for these pockets, which will be just simple tags that I'm going to cut out of labels and tags. I'll figure out which one I'm going to use for that. And this one's good to go because this is photo mats. Right here, I'm going to put a little hanging tag right here. And then we'll create little inserts. And then the same thing for these pages. I'm also going to, let's see, should we do the spine? Yeah, I'm going to do the spine. And I have plenty of room. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pieces, all my center pieces that are going to go on the decorative element here, rather, not center, but the decorative element that's going to go on my binding system. And then I'm going to cut out this piece too. Let me just give you a measurement. So this one is going to be 2 1/8 wide by 6.5, I believe. Yep, 6.5. So I'm going to cut 2 1/8 by 6.5 pieces of cardstock to build up my spine. And I'm also going to cut these pieces out, and we'll take it from there. So I went ahead and added the pattern paper to all my sections. And I cut out a piece that I said that is 2 1/8 by 6.5. And then I cut out a piece of pattern paper that will match my other pieces. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and test run this. And it looks good to me there. I do want to go ahead and glue on my pattern paper first, because it's easier to make sure I have things lined up this way than to try to stick it on and hold the book and all that fun stuff. So I only cut this about 1/8 of an inch smaller because I wanted to have more pattern paper than cardstock. Anyway, so now this is just going to go right on top, just like that. And if I have the book like this, it's sitting pretty straight. So I got all my pages lined up, so I don't have anything wonky. Like if you had something higher up, it wouldn't be so straight, but you can see it's pretty straight like that. So I am going to go ahead and add glue to this whole thing. I want to make sure it gets nice and stuck. Again, I am using my fingers to feel where everything meets up. And you can see right here, there's no gaps. A little bit of glue right there. Let's turn it over and push those pages back. And we look good. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to cut out some tags, and I'll show you my tags. So I went ahead and created my labels. And I used Big Labels and Tags number 16 Smooth to go ahead and create those there, as well as the ones for the back. All right, so now we will get started on either this or this one. And before I forget, this is all dry, so you can see how nice and sturdy the book is now for flipping. All right, so we're going to continue on with our book. We are going to work on our inserts. So let me show you what we're going to be making. So this little pull-out folder, and it's a waterfall set of stacked pockets, along with a little corner pocket to go ahead and add some photo mats or some tags. So let's just grab a couple over here to show you. So right over here, you can go ahead and add in some tags. Alrighty, so, which I'll have to cut this still. So let's get started on how to make this. So the first thing is I cut a piece of paper that is 6 1/4, should be, yep, 6 1/4 by 7 1/2, and folded it in the middle, so, which would be 3 1/4. And let me just double check. So 3 1/4. And I'm using the medium pocket die number 652. And you're going to need to cut overall 9 pockets. So I went ahead and cut those out, and we'll get with those in 1 second. So let's get this folded. So there's that. And I went ahead also and I already cut my pattern paper out. So those are go right there. So let's get those stuck down. And all I did was cut them a 1/4 inch smaller than what my black paper is on each half. So stick that down. And this side. And there is the insides. So now, like I said, for over here, you are going to need 8 pieces of envelopes. Now, to do these ones here, I'm just going to show you. So because I like the nice crisp edges, I'm going to go ahead and tack down 2 of the sides. Just like that. And then I'm just going to burnish it so that way, nice clean edges. And then on this one here, where we're going to attach it to make it the waterfall, I'm going to go ahead and apply some tape right there, and then that's what we're going to stick down on the top here. So let me grab my pieces. I also cut 1 piece of just craft cardstock. I didn't want to load up my waterfall with all kinds of cardstock just because it's going to create more bulk than the pictures. So I just wanted to go ahead and just do the one to show you. So what we're going to do is, now I want to make sure that I'm going to start off even. So I want to start it even from the top and I'm just eyeballing side to side to make sure it's even. So I'm going to start this one at 1/4 inch. So I'm using my ruler up here to make sure that I'm even with the black. And then I'm eyeballing it to the center. And then once I'm sure I have it where I want it, I'm just going to untuck it and stick it down, just like that. All right, and then just to do the rest of them now, one extra. So I'm going to flip this up, and I'm going to line this here to the edge right here. And then I'll bring this one down, and then I'm just going to make sure I'm lined up. So once I know I'm lined up from here to here, the same thing, hold it down, lift it up, making sure I'm good right there, untuck it, and then just flip it and stick it down. And then I'm just going to make sure we're good, and then move on to the next one. Again, lining it up there. And making sure I'm all lined up, and when I know I'm good, stick it down. And then I just keep following that all the way down. And because you're using the dies, you know it's going to be cut out, squared off. There's that. And then the next one. And I just give it a little push on the bottom just to make sure I'm tight up on this. The cardstock just kind of catches on itself up there, so I know that that is where it needs to be. And just pay attention to your sides, that you're still in the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. I love making waterfalls because they're so easy. And this is the last one. There's that. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to put a little corner pocket over here. So I will need one more pocket. So I have my pocket. And what I want to do for this pocket, I'm going to fold the two sides down because it's going to be a corner pocket. So what I do is measure the height, which is 2.5, up, and then I'm going to measure it over. So it's kind of like a real square. And then I'm going to cut it. Whoops. I'm going to cut it from here to my pencil marks. Let me cut that. So this is what I have now. So this is the pocket, what I cut out. And I'm going to add my tape. Or glue, if you prefer glue. Tape's just quicker for me in the video. And then I already had cut out my pattern piece that's going to go here. So I'm going to figure out where it needs to go. And again, make a mark. And I'm going to cut it from here to there. So that's what I have there. And it should fit perfectly in here, which it does. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink the edges real quick. and then I can glue it down. And then it's just going to go right in the corner. Just like that. And then I also had cut out my piece of cardstock for the top photo mat there. Just like that. And then I can go ahead and now just do the front cover, which like I said, oops, too long. Is this one too long? No, let's do the back one on first, and then I'll recut that one. That's where it comes in handy to always test your pieces, because had I put glue on it, it would have made it a little difficult to try to cut it to the right size. So I'm going to cut it at the top because I want to keep the whole thing of this. And just keep that piece. And then that's going to go right there. And that right there is how to make those inserts. See, now I've got two of them. And then they just go in the book. So this one can go right here. Oops. And then this one over here. And there's that. So those are done. The only thing left now to do is just the little belly band ones. And what I was trying to do is not working. So I am going to have to kind of come up with something different. But I have an idea on that. So bear with me 1 second and let me get those cut out. Okay, so I already had an extra pocket cut out. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut some little corner pockets from here. So any tags and stuff that you put up in the belly band can rest down in the corner pocket, or you can have some longer tags and then some shorter tags to keep the longer tags in place. So what I did was we're going to go ahead and make our corner pockets out of one piece. Let's get some tape on it first, and then I'll show you. So because the pockets are going, you can make two pockets out of one, because what you want to do is put a pocket on the corner here to keep anything from falling outside of the album. This way it'll still be in the inside of the album. So what I did was find my center, which I made a little mark for my center. And let me just fold these down. So I'm going to cut from here to here and here to here to make my two corner pockets. So basically, this is my pocket. That's what I cut out. So here's my tape that's on those pieces right now. And then for my chickens, I can just go ahead, do the same thing. I'm going to line it up. So let's cut that one first. And then we'll do that piece, and then let's just make sure so it should line up right to that spot there. So let's cut that. So that would be this piece right there now. So that's what I just cut off. And let me just ink the sides. And stick this down. And we are almost done with this album. And then this one. Okay, and then so this corner one here is going to go on this page. So I do want a little bit of the white to show. So oops, my book keeps sliding away. There's that one. And then come over to this side. And then this little guy will go right here. And that's pretty much it for the book. I'm going to go ahead and cut out a few tags, and I will give you a final walkthrough. So let me walk you through what I just did. So right here was the pocket. I made another tag, and then this was what I was saying with the belly band up here. If you go ahead and put this in here like this, the pocket will keep it from falling out. And then if you add some more tags or photo mats, this right here will also help keep all that inside. So anyway, that is our little book. We are all done. So quick walk through the cover. Here's the binding system we did. Opens up, corner pocket on the front with some tags. Over here, a set of stacked pockets, just like that. Holding our tags as well. And then we come over here and our little photo mats that flip open. You can also go ahead if you wanted to and add a little corner pocket here or something. If you wanted to add some more tags in there, that would work out good to keep that closed. And then what we just did, a little belly band at the top with our corner pocket. And then on this side here, our little folder with corner pocket as well, and our waterfall that flips up just like that, as well as a matching one on the other side. And then we just go ahead and repeat ourselves with our little belly band and corner pocket, photo mats, stacked pockets, and then our back cover. All right, well, I hope you like this using the new slimline dies from Crealies. And if you are watching this on my YouTube channel, Patty's Crafty Spot, or the Crealies YouTube channel, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. If you're already not subscribed, hit that subscribe button for lots of goodies and tutorials and fun stuff. And until next time, guys, happy crafting. Bye.